Sidiano from
me e kotoko ni but oye heart ni nkwa de me bona baso una mo na baso me bona baso
me kasa me mo na baso wa person obetima sinti enye hwe
Daily Guide Ashanti Minister GNFS PRO clash over Adum fire Parliament summons Muntaka over Addison's house raid NDC wanted list out Dame Gabi Esla Kweku Esiama on radar relay ratify ABL mining lease Asante groups. The Daily Guide there or the bar no pine no.
There's Daily Guide, so I think there's 5.
One story. I'll say 5 died in gory accidents.
And see, story in minister in Canada. And see, I think say the may say NDC in court wanted list out. Nipa mpeso mutata omana. Na ewa no until the kwaku for yama. Esla uzo kufu ena Godfrey Damin fo nyina ba yanko the next stories na kwaku emrani de na emre ko
ni nyina no wa ent kofi me de sa enipa yom do mfoni abeto se NDC for so mo pu so mpeso mo tata wo no enipa no mo ewo mfonim no eyo ma dwen so mo ye ba ya abre wa dwe wo ho
omunyo
Dabi o NDC for no mo be ye se ya betata nkofo mo be kokoto so no makodi for Yemi say from Ampani Melsa Penso. Eddie Bessie or first or Ampani John Romani Mahama and the first time or buy no. Case man I sign your one call to me the more. Well, and man be a while. Men you saw better will be near all came crano. Some now can a genuine say a year crano. Or we ever can say a witch hunting. But then I ain't ready Ghana and your one coffee.
All right. You see her na ya twaso dachna. You say, "Oma me ye no ye memenda."
Memenda.
Awa
achembom so.
Okay.
Nti wa wo ba fi Kumase kwanso think na wo do enyinem na afa kwa ben a abomosu. Bom so wo abomosu ne yasuo mo ntam. Google map okra do.
Na say kuro ba ko to aso efen achim kukubi.
Achim kukubi.
Na wo kuro nso hye kuro. Kukubi nie bom so nie.
Na twapiase. Ye onkura kan senku na se nyina ho. Senku be na ase. Iti nyame ya adom a adom for medom meja me na me nkura me ma me nyame ya adom a
uma me nya 80 years
fear de otwe
uma me nya 80 years
kofi ya wie
me wie uma me nya 80 years na wo 53 nti uti 53 from 80 a okwa no yes ene so ma me wo at the age of ko di ka wo bi on say kan so no mo wo ntentem nti age ni ye 80 na tally with your age na so obesa kwa assemblyman no because say Mahama say obitu assemblyman for ka obesa ko
Kofi me yasan samaj because o man pani John Dramani Mahama de ota agi ni di ahwe adu do kon kwa
ndu me so obesa ko
me dwene ho ba bon so ane adwe ho
mate teacher kwa ntwu esi akone sabatal na ete o monka say de bonka tem nsam bro Shadrack Fojo enua be ma ewa ha sa so na onua odame ewa anti ebedi nkomo pa nsema ekoso okrum ha no doso enti ye home so sema aba na ede ene nkomo no ahihye so and Ghana National Fire Service 2.09 million, which is 2 million. And a whole national service. Omunina sika 2 million pe. Na diska we eco regional coordinating councillor. President Eja etobe bia. Omunya kade akwa kodum no. Enti ebedi san komo na yahwe. Budget commitment from the NDC side. Semno makeka no na ebusa se omobu di omobo hye so. Ana se eye budget hwe ana budget to. Na yahwe and so I'll be in a Bura we could fee near the other. I was a parliament for the summons the interior minister Muntakasa Omra Omeyi Semano. These and many more and Erin and ever be in Como Ewofia. For you am watching.
When you're watching me, that's it.
Bokodia.
Yamiadum, I want you. Yamiadum, I want you. I did change it. I say a tip one idea, not
that's great. Weekend, of course, to make a Black Stars match in the
Yamiadum weekends and Black Stars match day, if you be.
Okay.
So they're quiet in I say, friends, they say a child abuse. A man ball, targets cry, new 3 pool. Child abuse. Because we don't remember the last time at Black Stars. I shared that number of goals, but the most worrying thing is
one goal project.
The most worrying thing is Kwanya man for person more politics out of it. I think that we will get there.
Yeah, we talk about it. We need buy, you know. People are saying that John Mahama pension and Black Stars said to my share no politicization of Black Stars, you know. Mekai 6-1 be na the late Achu, Egypt. Oh, Kumasi.
Yeah.
It's a ghost I buy until we'll be speaking on that subject matter. So until join the conversation on YouTube. Net2 TV GH. The topics in those minimum the old Beshasi.
Okay. I think there is a manifesto no. Any moon seven in the NDC commitment or
budget.
Yeah, the budget. You fancy.
Okay.
I said Beshas and pay me, but some didn't chama Atiwa Mantin constituency for you now. Or him pon Dr. Asiama Atibu Mahine.
Okay.
Na me ankasa nana mponsanka kabo oyo tune for brempon e cha no pay ye chia
amunina sum era okay
ye at me nana na sum era atebu mahine de ono so de no ho
okay okay
ye de chia be ma atebu manten MPP fo nyina ene omo menya kwanya hwe no pay. There's one issue another person address concern atebu manten fo no
okay
I pay the manifest can say budget in the moon per the finance minister yes. You heard manifest budget now. It is derived from NDC manifesto or presented prior to election 2024. Now our main pillars for their governance and this 4-year term, no, I think some are building upon 3 pillars. That is the economic transformation agenda, the economic recovery program, and the 24-hour economy. But the most surprising thing from this whole thing is that all these things were captured in the manifesto from page 3 or page 22. But after the presentation of this budget, some of the problems are your Ghana and say, Obi okra this manifesto cry no so munye den enkan mu ehu asem wo mu da. Even budget here are kind for over 2 weeks near Agyapong. People are just making arguments out of context. Obi ha budget no onhu ade poten den ewum. Temi say am say NDC flagship program or they buy to win the election 2024 no. How many of those projects were captured by the friend is saying the budget no. Their main program my friend the 24-hour economy no. It was nowhere to be found. And after the presentation, no, when they started debating on the budget, besides adding to the 24-hour economy, no, one presenting, the Minister of Finance boldly told the Parliament, said, they are still working on it, even to be laid before Parliament for discussion. And he said, 24-hour economy na year who did to win the election 2024. You say, was say, is this something I did this the baby win election? And it was a thought after say, oh, yem pebi bibia a better Ghana for soon. We sat in this very house to see, say, most of the projects, new programs are NDC and listed under the 24-hour economy. No? They are mostly happening every day. But the problem with this, their 24-hour economy, is the commitment to some of the things that is already running in Ghana. Say, far in the health sector, Sabio, you're far from even from clinics. I've worked in the Ghana Health Service before. Even Chips compound cramp on one more Sabio in Kroki to Omono. At night, people go there and nurses attend to them. Oko polyclinics, clinics, any government hospitals are. There is no hospital in Ghana here because you say, about 8 p.m. We have closed our services. But the problem with these sectors, and they say, we need to push them. There are certain amenities and programs are and as a buying this guy, the 24-hour economy is nothing new to this economy of Ghana. Yet I have a cancer under the MPP government. We introduced the digitalization programs and projects, which makes you say, and then what's your car insurance? You can pick a phone and begin to activate it. Or your health insurance, you can pick a phone and begin to activate it. You might be to say, a friend is saying, passports. Even the now, your friend is saying, Samokuja Tabla in charge. He didn't even know, say, you can sit in the house and begin to start your passport registrations. These are some of the things which already that is happening. They thought it's something that is so unique, so new. So after they assuming power now, it looks so new to them. You hear some of the commitments NDC made, promises made in the manifesto. They made about 273 economic promises. Said they will be doing during this 4-year term. NDC has no grounds to seek for 8 years. This Mahama term is just lasting up to 2028. Every promise they gave in their manifesto, it is for a 4-year period. Yeah. Out of the 273 economic promises I end this year, see, I can say, but the 273 promises somewhere, how many can you be doing in a year? Next year, Chama finishing number. They'll be doing 68 promises, 68 point something. And the promises in at least in credit budget to better one. Yeah, we say out of the economic promises, some of them are Ghana for them. At least you should be able to see about 68 of those promises in the budget. Nani pana omoto abamunya hoda so and to so say near man amodi campaign. It's ideally and it is true that you are committed to it. But surprisingly, after this whole budget, we realized that only 25 of the 68 that they were supposed to do with the yearly, was enshrined in the budget, which we all know say at the end of the day they cannot be able to even fulfill all these 25 promises.
Okay.
So even in their first year, I think we meet about 68 promises. They are doing 25. That is about 36% of the promises they have made, which we know say at the end of this year, they might not even be able to hit 20% of the promises they have made in this year. MPP a GDP growth of 5.7%,
yeah,
which the minister admitted. That shows the economy is than ever kwampa so the economy. Nasabio why the jawno we set a target for GDP growth. We see 4.4%. Say abanda dana ye chastising the body this say no. There say ya sabio na enye no. But we could do set a target. Set a target way below what they did. This is something that should communicate to Ghanaians the sort of government we are having now. You say aban so in your first 3 to 6 months, use your honeymoon period. Oh yeah, there's a Ghana for edo. As will be able to osubi mada. But after that period, and that is when Ghanaians are going to see the heat. Already we are seeing it. Some of the crises we are going through, even in their first 3 months, we realize that NDC is almost giving us a hopeless governance in their 4 years, even from the first quarter of their governance. One of the major things the Women's Bank. And per Bank of Ghana and regulations, you need not less than 400 million Ghana cedis for capitalization to have a proper bank. NDC never communicated or never made a campaign promise say microfinance and a friend is saying savings and loans and as a micro credit firm or something. They categorically promise say they're going to do Women's Bank. Okay. But in the budget, President of Parliament, they allocated only 51 million. Say if you're even going to set up a bank, that 51 million, it does not guarantee you a banking license. So what I say, if you inform my phone and ma or to the just know very well said this government, even in this first year, the Women's Bank who did it, it will not be able to, they will not be fulfilled it. If it's a Chama Maslock and the MPP, it is more than this 51 million. Are they going to give this money as Salala Sula Lasika Nas at the end of the day Yashina because NDC is capable of doing this thing? Where you Misike could it ran for 51 billion. And this 51 friend is saying million over for Women's Bank, and they allocated 78 million Ghana cedis to government communications at the presidency. In terms of say A4 paper, yekoto printing yekoye media houses are contracted woman. Omo sika de komo e hia sen Ghana ma me fo ni dwemfo ma sika e se de mo ma eputuo ekoso de hwe omma na economy is benefit from no. We are prioritizing sika de government communication. More than that, during MPP time, MPP only allocated 4 million Ghana cedis to government communication at the office of the government machinery. Sam George and Okuja top black kwasi and TB now buying the year propaganda. Now they have raised it more than how many percent? More than 2,000%.
2,000. 4 million to
78 million. Last we realized that Felix Ofusu-Kwakye has gathered bloggers. So one thing they're going to do is say they are going to pay all these bloggers to watch the government at any time. It's assemble social media now must pay this for to Oguso. Assemble social media now must pay this for to Oguso. When the president of Ghana so could share labor unions to negotiate about their salary increment, minimum wage increment, a whole president sat down and gave them 10%. But the government has increased budget allocation to kind of saying compensations for at government machinery, almost 720%. That is how much government is giving them. When MPP was giving 327 million Ghana cedis, this government has allocated 2.7 billion to this in
government
machinery, as compensations. You have free SHS. The gap in the infrastructure gap by what free SHS. Government only needs. You kind of saying 1 billion. 1 billion. No. Government needs only 1 billion to deal with the infrastructure gap in under the free SHS policy. Government said he doesn't have money to do it. How much allocation did the government put there? There was no a single allocation for free SHS infrastructure. But government is saying, Obefa taxpayers' money of $250 million. That is about 4.1 billion Ghana cedis to be buying gold. Summing up to $12 billion in a year. Government doesn't need IMF. How much are we going to take from IMF? Isn't that 3 billion? It is a government what all this is the propaganda just to whitewash the gold board, Maybe when we get a time, we will talk about the gold board and government has allocated $100 million for capital expenditure at the Office of Government Machinery. That's secure the battle to cars. Akabodie a friend saying Office of Government Machinery. This same government and a friend is saying paragraph 478 of the economic policy now Abai say on to me recruitment because of IMF conditionalities. On to me even replacement. Ghana former Bunintini ha no Muntini ye say this government in his first term or in his first year of governance was say he will not be able to recruit anybody. Yes, in Sobeto a friend is saying a job away from Opa. About we better so I need even 1 month and nipa cry more a friend appointment letters or chances or saki it we a bubble no need us to say a buying way ebe ma adida so be for employment near there to what you would because even in their first 1 month, they are asking people to go home. And the first economic policy about we read, was stating emphatically that government is not going to recruit, not going to replace, which has never been the case. At any time a government ever call IMF for any kind of help, the worst the government will do is to place embargo on maybe recruitment. But for replacement, nipa pension, the government is not going to do that. But this same government has $100 million for government expenditure at the office of the presidency. Omuwe no say you betting tax free ho. The entire you betting tax free one say, yem for adwuma entimu kwatwa bet. Yem for adwuma eti yi betting tax na mo ye hu dede na fi say yem for adwuma entimu kweden. Mun kwatwa bet. One surprising thing say after say abine the 2.7 billion share a compensation at Office of Government Machinery you cast 7 economic ministries ebomu a sika abine the mom no 2.2 billion. Let's just say Office of the Government Machinery no ankasa no who here essence 7 economic ministries you where sika abine ebe spending what infrastructure sector infrastructure ministries now 700 million Ghana cedis as allocated for a friend is saying those infrastructure until this year what we need to say about be big projects to da because even in that sector there is not there's nothing good to write home about it. Enti me no wahene a budget ya by the two jano na ye ka se be scrutinize ahwemu ya animanimu ya the man for ntiase ye ma ye ho enkopim June, July, August. That is when people begin to feel the real heat in this governance, because there is no hope in the budget that has been presented. You share budget allocations to various sectors of the economy. I think Ghana. The government is so much considered in itself as a government than the people of Ghana. Enti Emma to the actually say yes, be a women's bank. One of the advice I want to give this morning is say 51 million now by allocated say or the women's bank, which we can't even take that money to Bank of Ghana say or the budget license. Your government banks, something like National Investment Bank, Agric Bank, they don't even have branches in all those places. Government should inject that money into this bank and just let the Ghanaians do that. He has failed on one of his promises. Now he am creating a sector in this banks. Now these women can go there and go for some of these loans. Then say, this can be a imagine say you be even the friend said 10 branches of this women's bank with 51 million offices, recruitment, machinery. This 51 million cannot even set up a 10 offices in Ghana here. Look at it at the cost involved. There is nothing new. There is no hope. The Ghanaian youth now, at social media, assembly so the attempt you do, assembly so not the 7 obi 2 megabyte data no. Na obi assembly share face to face won't mean kasa na nimpo Sani pan na odi na tem. So out of the budget that has been presented some you
okay, so you didn't come out now 2025 budget and you have for George said there's no hope and it has so be any team recently National Intelligence Bureau, formerly BNI, I mean also. Where do you think say as a country?
Okay, why me does be BNI ni nyuma no. And some be just say NSNAC. This is so accustomed to the NDC. Say anytime a NDC be to me biano. The Omoyene said they use state agencies and state security to terrorize people. It is not only today. It happened during Mohammed's time, Atamil's time. It is happening in today's Ghana. LPP cannot be whitewashed in these instances. By a penny power or yen man broso. It is the NDC. Ruby say, where does this formation of the BNI and now the NIB know? Where is it coming from? The budget to say this is a constitutional body which was enacted under Article 83. That is the one National Security Council. The National Security Council is being chaired by the President of Ghana. And our President now appointed coordinator of the National Security Council. And the coordinator and I set up other agencies, friends say 1030, to supplement Article 83, 84. Agencies that operate under the National Security Council, which one of them is the BNI, previously BNI and the NIB, and the BNI, friend say research department, and the BNI National Signals Bureau. The National Signals Bureau is in charge of picking up signals. Concern that is our external security. The moment the say your border some other country maybe no issue or making attack him or more picking information. That is the duty of the National Signals Bureau, and the function of the National Investment, National Investigative Bureau, that is a BNI. A moment here solely on internal matters. And the coordinator of the National Security Council, he makes appointment of the coordinators of these agencies. That is the NIB, the National Signals Bureau, and the Research Department. Those are the ones on the ESA coordination. And to say, so the president, I might be a talk by you as a man penino. One of your major taxes are in a bamboo. And you buy me say because if we have peace in this nation the opposite will be able to me your question lockdown crowd a few say that and you people say what are the functions and the BNI want some now by can know and the BNI functions under Article 1030 clause 14 assembly then the BNI say the sole responsibility of the internal. They are so responsible for the internal intelligence gathering of information.
Okay.
Internally, everything that affects the internal security. And they gather, monitor, collect, analyze, evaluate, retain, disseminate in appropriate manner information and intelligence gathered internally and perform intelligence operations.
Okay.
What I say, and the G1 no. Let me just close it. Oko G now under section 14 now, they shall conduct investigation in collaboration with relevant state agencies into serious offenses and matters of national importance. So was say onunumpo as a friend say no BNI no and NIB no onto me even the onto me and nyoma on this one because they don't even have the right to prosecute. Over prosecute be just on my police. And nyoma bi now police are prosecuted in the Port court. Enti nyoma be na ya yakopeke yakoje warrant. Adin to mu issue warrant. They have to take warrant from the police. And some what me acquire arrest or to do any investigation. You are picking Kencity Media, you are picking if to worry, you are picking
Kumfi Ameyao.
All these things they are doing, it is the job of the police. Momo DNA say, and no one am chroma, and I only read, and I only read. And Uboni and Mabru no. Have we asked ourselves that this is against the internal security of this nation? Yeah. What operations has the national the NIB conducted concerning this illicit drugs usage in this country? What have they done concerning illegal mining, which is against the national security of Ghana? Because yes, sir, is a security threat to this nation. Right. What has the NIB done in this capacity? Every day, yesterday, offensive forest belt one. Now we have illegal miners. They are well armed. And right, forest guard B2 as reported by Erasmus Aredonkono, the person is fighting for his life. Moti office and a mark of fact. And one surprising thing, so our more responsibility when the coordinators are supposed to brief the government. At least what I know is that at least a week or every 2 weeks. This Monday or Tuesday, the NIB, the National Signals Bureau, and the Research Department, they brief the president on the happenings. But President Mahama has set all Ajuma for the boys and girls in Indonesia. Or appointed buying a special advisor to government on security matters. When we have already people in this sector, civil servant, or more yes, Ajuma, or appointed on, and a prosper buying this Wakofa Richard Japa, so a special operations. Nipa! Ghana Armed Forces, are describing as irresponsible. Sort of words that were described by him. That letter was sent by Brigadier General Agyapong, MKG Agyapong. He was not signing. Richard Japano, I appointing. He has no locus to be operating there because Obia wants to in the security sector. How do you bring that person in this sector? They have the right to appoint people like farmers and where your borders necessary to give that information. So when you appoint, he is the one in charge of doing all these things. On a call, Finance Minister Fie, a tuition home, a lady man from Mukwe saying, all this arrest that is happening, Richard Japano is the one leading it. And he is not. He doesn't have the capacity. He does not have any moral right to be operating there. One of the two appointments of President Mahama here in this era where me on any day I speak against the appointment of Richard Japa and a Professor Jampo. Ghana ha a Malku Ghana ha women rights, women activists for Okrum. Somebody who have been found culpable by the University of Ghana. University of Ghana has suspended Professor Jambo for 4 months without salary because they search for grade 9. Menu can say, "Oko internet, oko YouTuber." I was so be obi wild kiss ni sa money a student. Sani po when after everything you are suspending the wheel. President Mahama has some position. What are you trying to tell people?
Which it will not happen in other countries.
In any country, in any serious jurisdiction, nobody would appoint Professor Jampo to take up a position. Nipo amatu wakasa as neutrals. And now he says he will make sure that MPP comes no close to power. And my group, any associations, they should stand up against that point. I'm even surprised. Right. But Chrome, I quite say, I dare for MPP who everybody have mouth. About in this, everybody is quiet about it. Richard Japa, Professor Jampo. Even they don't even qualify to be called the position they are having, right. Especially Professor Jampo.
In fact, we didn't come on be Onuya or Dame Kwesiapia and so I think say on Kumasi fire outbreak, Edaha in Kanwasem, politicization of black stars near the answer the whole and other the person of Fabiano on so far. Mr. Odami
budget, business students.
Traffic
it's very, very sad.
Well, on this subject matter, and also budget commitment, NDC. Now, fire outbreak here back Kumasi businesses. Or a businessman. A just shake, a doom, Kofashiro Monoma. regional minister kuti team go fire for no so Canada. Our budget allocation edema regional coordinating council Ashanti region is over 25 million Ghana cedis. And the whole national fire service the whole Ghana. And to say just to be no want me and so on, na minister shout at them. Yeah, are we serious in this? Where are we heading towards? Many maybe I'll be fast and free.
All right, Unia, me can't show. And I pay the why for
so what that room I will see now the man.
Our corner. Our corner pa. And is it? Ya me buana say honorable ever friend and also to me a baby.
No credit.
To make sure with you for.
Also,
I met here business executive for Ken members.
Okay.
You kwa. Yake ho abom obi biara ina adwuma ese be bo honorable Ken Chidom na masan so chia nkase papa kwame akompre ko Agyapong da che hene
okay
se nyame mmon ho ban na nyame akafa ho biara no ebebem onua ensem de bebre na nyame be hyase eye NDC commitment against budgetary allocations amembu no ne wode wano fafa e kabra odina simpie so no enye no ne hia baby obe allocate sika akọ
okay
nti se ne ye de to nwom de sawo campaign platforms ni nyina no no fafa keke
okay
but where you make budgetary allocations where you allocate money no that is where your heart is
okay
some of the key promises NDC make going into these elections one of them a 24-hour economy omo de bonyum or the asempa dabo or the Asempa or the 24-hour economy. That was the key. I think that was the key campaign promise.
Per research, senior research fellow University of Ghana, Legon, also economist Dr. John Domfese, Omoye, na LED a year policy a year na LED was
24-hour economy. Yes. So that was the lead campaign promise of the NDC, as against 2008 akufo-addo. Okay. So it was 24-hour economy. Some of us thought say it wasn't a policy, but it's just a response to increase in demand for goods. A new policy, but say productivity. Now say here say a rise here, then you operate beyond the normal hours. Nkofu entie. And this is for na kasa ntimi anchirichiri mu ye. Ebi kase. Some of us knew say services are already important, you know. It's running 24-hour economy, like hospitals, like our food sector, like pharmaceutical sector, like transport, running. But Ghana force it on 24-hour economy. Abani presenting the first budgeter. Kobo Krampono one located towards 24-hour economy. Na said a nada because so obeya I was already sika. Eshim.
Okay.
Abana Mosokra, let me tell finance minister, or say later on he will come to parliament.
Yeah, not be president.
Later on,
bill not to hold.
Can you imagine? A dear your main campaign promise. I would akufo-addo buy the first 1 year we implemented it.
Free
although it was progress, but for first years. And you know, honesty, I did come once a man might be honorable catch, you know. It is lacking in this administration.
Okay.
Because a mebun be DHA because you said you about nipa me sabeding e betimi aye abana mfa kobo krampo allocate to 24-hour economy which means say e maso because e be no ye de beye so I rehosem ti mebun na mo se mo de mezaya aba no 24-hour economy no ya allocate kobo kra amamo. Secondly, on the budget a lean government. It was one critical issue.
Abaning nipa do. And you know, when you talk about lean economy, lean government. It's not only about the size, a budgetary allocation. On the logically, no. It's nipa ne do so. Yes, but say expenditure be den. Be do so. Aban we every year campaign. So Oba appointed 60 ministers. Why? But omo hye chiri krampo no. Ye kakaboma. And number there, na me see friends Abujinapo. Analysis be no make. We share appointments, duplications of appointments. Not to say, it's even more than twice what akufo-addo did. Let me go into the lean budget. Okay.
Ukomwa, the SWAL government allocation towards compensation at office of the government machinery. In the office of the presidency, not the entire, but just Aketua compensation, salaries and emoluments. Yeah. It was 320 million Ghana cedis. 320 million Ghana cedis. Abanya was operating a lean government. A 1.7 billion Ghana cedis. 320 to 1.7. If you 320, after I 500. Wako 1 million. Wako 1.5. Wako 2 million. Wako 2.5. And sana.
Okay, be 2.7.
As an application. Only a compensation compensation ya ketuya.
Could do that level.
And in 2024, the akufo-addo abayano, 320 they had 8 agencies.
Yeah. Under that office of the president machinery.
That's
on the screen.
They had 8 agencies. And this is a government only 4 agencies under the office of the president machinery.
Over 2.7 billion.
2.7 billion. In Japan, we are training innovation about so you can have a very lean government with a very big stomach. I said, now, on the 9 here about the food soup, and it's so sad.
Okay.
Where you are buying anything towards 24-hour economy. When government compensation go on, a 1.7. Do you know the number of agenda 1 hospitals are a bit in the number of schools a bit in Abaya also cut it down. I mean, it's so sad. I become so passionate because probably someone make it. That's what my faculty question. Akufo-addo, the short force, they are doing it times 10. How can you calculate percentage now? I think it's over
720%.
Can you imagine? Secondly, about continuity of project, I become wasem. Say one of our major problems on my say we started project.
Yeah.
I didn't see anywhere in the budget they made mention of Agenda 111.
It's not part of their budget.
There was no money allocated towards Agenda 111. Project, very laudable project here. Bringing hospitals across every district of the country. No money was allocated. Into Yejai and the Kunkonho. Say you say be the info biara. Na say bi Ghana no. Say your papa Agyapadia. Say never Mediana. MPP force to buy Saglame. Oman to aso. It was bad. And this is what bad. What also bad resetting. Agenda 111. Nothing was done about it. One of their key promises was the Women Development Bank. Some bar on establish banks am I ma and ye mubi ye niaje see ma menom because me ye dwade man se no didwa. Ati him said den e boy ma no manyis capital no dey o dey asho monwuma se. Secondly, because baby wakoma wo no. E ho na allocate sika. They allocated 50 million Ghana cedis per towards the Women Development Bank. A whole bank, 50 million.
When you need 400 million for capitalization.
Capitalization, we have 400 million. No problem here. The requirement are we here. And so now what the pesca. It we here the 400. That's the minimum.
That money is not a scout. The Bank of Ghana. I'm power who didn't say. Wait, maybe bank.
I buy with the 50 million. I don't know. A woman micro finance. Say.
Microfinance original could be office we are scanning.
Meanwhile, Abana allocated 50 million for research and research at the office of the presidency.
70.
78
million
for research.
Fellows says it is not true. Last week about the sky is not even enough. Nipa 2 weeks ago say enye no kreno. Last week because enye enough.
Now research be no more here. Now University of Ghana research on my yebu ho. I don't know more there. See your special personal conductor research at the presidency.
Yeah.
It is a band per research paper biya. The investors there, professors, well trained in research.
They are technocrats.
Now 78 million, research is canon compared to the bank ever give this out to a man 50 million. Research 78 million. Hey, and this year bang. Penny Mahama, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Seriously, some of us me overly partisan. I've been saying it's a businessman, a technocrat. Yeah. I throw my weight where it didn't fit. Yeah. I don't wish you bad. Me say abandon the cost because the cost you boy. But you say what start here? You say I go beswa. Ne fradopa. What me allocate 78 million for research. Na 50 million.
For bank.
Na I think say
all right.
We are not serious as a mind.
Yeah, what business here? A do drana ashie no.
Okay.
A drana ashie any day akoso.
Okay.
The minister no aka because or casa arrogantly against the Ghana National Fire Service. We have budget allocation echo or regional coordinating council. Any budget echo fire service. Now casa say I mean, should we say less than 3 months? Prof. Jampo so the bakwabetum. They will make sure MPP will not get closer to the corridors of power. That's not on the line. I will ensure MPP never gets close to the corridors of power. Prof. Jampo.
Mr. Free Professor. Oh, Professor. Also, that he will make sure the MPP never gets
closer to
the corridors of power. In what capacity?
I don't know.
On the assembly, a bush, Keke. President Mahama, and a woman in Mobo. You know, natural baby. What our advice is say on canon. You manage their channels. When you need because for one some but I am one person. I am slow at criticizing people for their moral characters.
Yeah.
Mesreno, he does not have the power. He does not have the power to say so. My MPP has stayed opposition for. Only sa power no
so I'll come to you now. My main keka adventure kakra. Jewusu say Ocha no pay Eda say Jewusu Nanapon, good morning to Honorable Ken, incoming President 22. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. May the Lord continue to protect you, Honorable Ken. Repetition it also Nanapon messages full of repetition. May I say we so Francis from Tema says good morning Owahene. Please tell Professor Jampo that he's a mortal being. Is he sure he can live to see the end of NDC's 4 years in power? He should be very careful because his life is controlled by a superior power who is God, and he will make sure MPP never gets to the corridors of power. Really? Francis Tema is asking that question. I'll say the gentlemen in the studios are making my day. Fantastic analysis by both of them. Very educative and also punching into the corridors of NDC's budget. That's into my or also be not trust on that.
All right. It's Professor Jampo the back and say, Obibia on Canon. They do manage their sharing sano. Own team determine the fate of the MPP. Ghanaians are discerning. We can read in between the lines and we know a good governance from a bad one. My main just share so. One major issue I made say, is it a deliberate act of some malicious people? And now say the phone recklessness and a sparky fire. Unia to get even 10,000 cities to start up a business.
And look at the quantum how
you
see,
mobile phone shops.
Yes.
Mobile phone, it's an iPhone shop. And the
iPhone shop almost a capital of about 2 million Ghana cedis.
Just imagine, say, looking at how expensive me suit in boy. That's a suit.
Over 500 pieces.
Can you imagine? And even if one is using $150 each, then you not to more. Da bend that, and I mean, the yes, cannot my name.
You can never.
And was say, the real causes of these fires. Because I'm thinking, say, I might be wrong, but I can smell something fishy.
Okay.
Because and tasum and ne go second time to them and ne edum and ne we or damn crime machem da eja dwiri ni nyina agui afi no masi foforo enti no ye be stress e osa aban so equipe fire service we share the whole nation allocation idea amount
2 million
against
24
for Ashanti region. How are you going to empower such institution to function effectively? Aban yesrew and this crisis come with social democrats. Into was like a more of programs are a bebwama timemfone de omuhwatom. What the 2 million Ghana cedis for the entire nation. Hey, Omampedi Mahama, yes, yen equipe fire service. Na your buildings, your building, yen enough space cars ni bed ebetimi room. The way you see adana so yen Ebubom unya enough space for them to maneuver. Na empower for them to act effectively.
Okay.
Ashanti Regional Minister Mpachomeba, or yeah, somebody that I admire. I like his exuberance.
Young.
Or very young. One of the things I love about Mohammed's government now, opportunities or the in Mebono. In fact, a test says you might move opportunity. You beat me deliver. The best show you are doing so well, but the best show with some of your social media utterances. Oh, you're very ambitious, and then you have very bright potentials. Yes, so you were Juma as a minister, devoid of social media attention. I believe it says, or that's greater than you can think.
All right, I bring you briefly on Black Stars, idea politics. And I know a share go
5-0.
5-0. So, MPP Aban was on a one go project. John Muhammad, they exuberance, and some like until NDC were power their Black Stars perform well. Briefly on that for your 2 minutes now.
Okay. Any fear, dear, any BA, no. The first time I hear who say Ghana, maybe physio woman, first time was a Ghana Eco World Cup, 2006. Yeah. Aban better the Ghana course our World Cup, no. MPP Aban, yes. Kufone, dear Koye. Your choir and send somebody Pumina, no. Yen Ghana Bombardi. The next time I call World Cup, a free anchor.
No, the next one. 2010 is your South Africa.
Your South Africa.
2014. Under NDC.
And they call Brazil. Sama, a
could be $150.
The talk will be back $150.
Jesus Christ.
NDC, they didn't have your fire football. It's not anything. No. They are always looking for avenues, opportunities to create loot and share among themselves. That is what they are doing. Because last time, Betanaka said, Abana formed close to
committees.
You kind of saying 17 committees with 175 committees. And we have a count not more. You did not have a count. You the prayer committee have a count. Yeah, prayer committee, not Musiati committee. When we have the non-more Eastern operating, when we have agencies in assemblies, they are in charge of disaster. This government assigned a committee. Our day, Papa, your friend is saying, I forgot his name. Atuano or qua when you soldiers for the police for base 6 and a number. On that move, and some I am swinging on. Yes, it's you, Safi way, is super top. It's so toa, a UBC, your friend is saying, Fladen, Ebe Basu, Krumha. But you may say, I will say, Ghana, you're born in the night, you come once a man. We have problem with spectatorship. One of NBC communicators was out there and was making noise. Say, I'm Kumasi former Accra Voboye. Everybody now they are taking the whole ball thing to even on the tribal basis. That is what they do. You be say I will say, and Sana Aban we ba so don. Yeah, World Cup qualification here, but not Ghana that say. Not Ghana, you were 12 points out of 5 matches. Ghana was still leading the table. Yeah. Oba 1 match pen over winning. Chad be say how many shots on target and nobody call here. Eko pomu wa mohwe se sana NDC for pese omo ye politicizing ye football na ye bubi nkase pudo hye na mu mahye a obi betwe sika besi ho e no mu hu o my way team no emu achip 2 ye wo NDC wa MPP wa ha e di sa support na ye reason for Ghana Black Stars no mo pese ma de policy chemu a ye bompa se be qualify ko World Cup ye ko World Cup na e be hu de be den e be sie.
I think the issues about politicizing Black Stars no is very wrong. Or mine already know politics are divided and so sharply. And one of the few things a kai boom. I'm a MPP ni NDC ni a football. What do you say? Se Ghana e wini matcha. Ni ye twi so loku wo kwan so a. Who say we MPP na say we NDC ni. Ye be sre. Se nkofo start ka say na aban papa baaye na o ma start ye wini 5-0. Na who wini against Chad. That is not a truth. It's not a true test of a strong team. That's not to say I don't appreciate our win. Maybe my basso. My idea, we should not politicize our football because that's the only thing. A kind of boom, MPP and NDC. Now institutions say you must see how some double GFA, friends, the Ministry of Sports, or you devoid of sad tribal politics and MYing.
Good morning, Owahine. Greetings to Hajia Safia Mohammed. She's very bold, courageous, and hard-working deputy national women organizer. And now to General JFK, the very dynamic and humble and hard-working chief scribe. I know a deputy women organizer, national deputy women organizer. Way from Miniaba, Wejagbawi, Comfort, Mildred Amofa. Say always on way the bawe on a women organizer. Happy birthday, Mr. Finefa birthday in na infancy. In Sempera is wishing Nesofo na Yasha Senator. Happy birthday to a remarkable leader, Prophet Godfred Agyapong of Present Glory Ministry, Kofodia. May God's blessings, wisdom, and favor continue to guide you as you celebrate another year of life. Cheers to many more years of spreading God's glory. Prophet Godfred Agyapong, or a leader, Present Glory Ministry. This is coming from Nsempewura. And the papa for happy birthday, Enko Emma. Sanso ena inua Sabato, and so every say a happy birthday to Mr. Riafe. Mr. Riafe, may the God, Lord grant you your heart desire, long life, prosperity be yours. Sabato ena anyway so Emma. Obi audio would be a happy birthday. Enko enso emfa amount na yemfansia we nana Kebwachi, CEO of Kick to Build organization nana so happy birthday nyame shira papa na oma kwatente na onto nkwanam ni nyina from Sabato and all the way aba ti ye dey see ha mame na menu anu ase odame Kwesi Apia on a chairman edimekulu business executive for Ken and onua enso okay
with the Mesho, Menyonko Pa Bako, Odina Oda, Gideon Abuaji of Community Hospital, on the head of finance, and there are Gideon, Maoda Pa, Nyapo Nishraw. People,
before you. I prefer Panya Wiso, as President Mahama say, I think before to Obama in this year. This time, our Basono, na atibu su ho asem onye ansan and 4 years here abawiye that's
okay mame emma obi abaso wa wo hwe I mean sure so ohwe me did the owo ahene entwebu esiako kwa mbafo abronye menu apani ofia one ya mofa bo ache beto aso na enkoma wo ho no mo de ama nyame adoma echina Tuesday ye besan so hye me da bedwafo nyina se good morning.